Ladies and gentlemen, fellow fighters of the ceaseless battle assemble around. Today, I am not a lighthouse but rather a harbinger of a reality so terrible and so strong that it will permanently change your view of this game we call life. This is not a sermon of hope nor a story of victories honored in the sun. No, this is far more potent. This is the disclosure of the shadow hiding behind every triumph. The truth only those brave enough to venture down the slope will ever be able to fathom. This holds the game's secret. What you know of the world is a deception. From the moment you started breathing, you have been fed illusions. They advised you that success will knock if you work hard, follow the rules, and wait your turn. That is, if life is fair. They advised you that justice finally rules and that good things do indeed happen to decent people. But I am here to inform you that is just a great lie. Fairness is not a feature of life. That game is unfair. Never intended to be, was it? Glance about you. The planet is a battlefield. A cruel arena where the strong eat the weak, where the clever survive while the honest die. This is the truth you have been blind to. Only those ready to welcome the gloom can grasp. The secret of the game is not in following the rules, but in realizing that the rules are a facade, a smokescreen to control the masses while the actual masters, the real masters, use the board to their advantage. Have you ever pondered why some people seem to glide through life, unconcerned by the hardships that cause others to collapse? Have you ever observed and wondered how the dishonest accumulates riches, the corrupt descends to authority, and the merciless realizes what others only dream of? Luck is not what this is. It is not fortuitous. This is the game's secret. The trick is that the game honors people who are ready to accomplish what others would not. This is a game of power, and those who patiently line up will not get it. Those who grab power find themselves reaching into the darkness and dragging the tools they need to mold their reality out. The world is not a place of fairness or equity. This is a place of dominance whereby the few who grasp the guiding principles overrule the fate of the multitude. First, you have to realize that morality is a construct, a series of chains meant to keep you in line, to make you predictable, manageable. The real gamers understand that you have to be ready to break free from those bonds and welcome the darkness within of yourself if you are to climb. You have to be ready to do whatever it takes, apply whatever tool required, bend the rules to suit you. It's about being the most relentless, most uncompromising in your search of power, not about being the strongest or the smartest. Still, make no mistake, this road is not for everyone. It calls for a specific attitude, a certain coldness, a readiness to examine the mirror and welcome the monster reflecting back at you. It takes bravery to face the terrible truth of the world as it is and to give up the consoling lies that have been spoon-fed to you since delivery. The secret of the game is that there are just power and the determination to use it. No rules exist. You have been advised to respect honesty, keep your word, be fair and decent. But what has that brought about? A life of mediocrity, of unrealized promise, of goals postponed? See people who have become great and left their legacy on history. Do you believe their limitations matched those of yours? Do you suppose their rules of play matched each other? No. They realized that one must be ready to reject the ideas of justice and accept the reality of power if one is to win the game and really conquer. Your dreams, hopes, and objectives are not important to the world. It just concerns what you can get from it and how far you are ready to go to grab what you wish. Most individuals are too terrified to face this unpleasant truth. But you are unique indeed. You're here because, deep down, some of you know that this game is more than what you have been taught. You are here because you are ready to accept the darkness, welcome the truth, and assert the power rightly yours. These days, I'm not advocating you should give up all moral sense or turn into a villain in your own narrative. However, realize that life is not a game with heroes. Players only abound here. And as a player, as a real master of the game, you have to be ready to welcome the duality of your personality. You have to realize that to be great, you have to be ready to walk in both light and dark, since they are two sides of the same coin. Think of this as your waking, your beginning. The game's secret is not for the delicate of heart. It is not for people who hang on the consoling falsehoods of a fair and equitable society. It is for those prepared to enter the darkness, face the terrible truth of power, and apply that understanding to alter their reality. It is for people who are ready to take chances others would avoid, act in ways others would not, and grab possibilities others would pass by. Right now is your moment of truth. Bound by the delusions of a fair and just society, will you keep living in the shadows, or will you walk into the darkness and take hold of the power that is yours? You have the decision. Yet, keep in mind the game won't wait. It will keep on either with or without you. The issue is, will you be played or will you be a player? Those who triumph in the game know that life is a well-calibrated symphony of power dynamics rather than a sequence of hapless happenings. Every contact, every relationship, every choice is a move on the life chessboard. To win, you have to consider several moves ahead. You have to predict how others will behave, run the board to your benefit, and, when the moment calls for it, hit precisely. Still, this calls far more than simply smart thinking. One needs a thorough awareness of human nature. People are driven by their needs, worries, and aspirations. They are predictable. You have to become a master of people if you are to master the game. You have to pick up reading them, grasping their motivations, and applying that understanding to your benefit. To reach your objectives, you have to develop into a puppet master, dragging the strings of everyone around you. Still, be careful. This road is dangerous. You will generate more foes as you climb. You will start to be a target more the power you acquire. But this is the price of excellence. Those who fear it will find themselves in the background, observing as others grab the prize. If at all necessary, you have to be ready to gamble everything on one action. Fortune rewards the daring, but also chastises the irresponsible. You have to dance the tightrope between boldness and foolishness to win the game. You always know one mistake might bring you down. But keep in mind that living a life of mediocrity, never knowing what you may have accomplished, is less desirable than risking all for a chance at greatness. A secret of the game is also one of sacrifice. You have to be ready to part with the things others treasure. Relationships, comfort, even your own sense of self. All these have to be given up on the altar of power. But you will get something considerably more important in return. Control. Overrule your life, your fate, and the surroundings. The ultimate prize, the actual aim of the game, is this. One pays a price for this control, though. Power's road is the solitary one. Those who do not know the game will misinterpret you, cause you dread, and even despise. But the cost of excellence is this one. Those who are ready to embrace the darkness, to follow the road of power, will discover they no longer require the validation of others. They will discover they have evolved into something more than they could have ever dreamed of. The secret of the game ultimately is not only about winning. This is about metamorphosis. It's about learning to be the architect of your own fate, the ruler of it. It's about surpassing the constraints of the environment you live in and above the small worries of the general people. It is about learning to participate really in the game of life. Hence, I would want to ask you once more, are you ready to welcome the blackness? Are you ready to reject the delusions that have kept you from claiming the authority really yours? Are you ready to start playing the game, take charge of your life, and realize excellence far beyond your wildest expectations? Should the response is affirmative, welcome the game. Remember, though, the road forward is not an easy one. It's a road of hardship, of sacrifice, of unrelenting search. For those who are ready to walk it, though, the benefits are almost unbounded. prize waiting for you are power, control, mastery. Still, you have to be ready to go above and beyond. You have to be ready to welcome the shadows. Use your tools of power without second thought, and follow the road of excellence without regard to fear. You own this secret of the game. It is what makes it interesting. Go forth then, and let the force of your will cause the earth to quake. Let those who obstruct you understand the cost of their disobedience. Now let the game start.